Alright guys, welcome back. Last time we were kind of going over some of the simple controls for Dark Souls and talking about how to get started and all that good jazz. I had some good posts in my description if you want to go back and look at that video for you know, the how to get a controller for your PC and other things. So let's get back into it and see if we can get out of this undead asylum. Just go ahead and start off by saying that this is a spoiler alert. I'm going to tell you exactly what is going to happen before it happens. So if for whatever reason you want to kind of try on your own first so you know what happens, stop this video and then just watch it afterwards so you can figure out what to do if you can't figure it out, which can be tricky. Some people are probably going to yell and say it's simple, you're an idiot, but for some people it's not the easiest thing in the world, so do not be ashamed. But yeah, so we go ahead and open these doors slowly, slowly. There we go. Now they're open. And if we just take a little peek up, there's a big fat guy up there, but you can't really see that well. So when I walk in, he's going to jump down and try to kill me. Now, if you're a new player, you may try to start fighting this new opponent because there is a boss health meter that appears on your bottom screen, I think. Is there? I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. I think there is. So, if you're a normal person, you'll be like, hey, I should probably try to fight this thing with a broken sword piece of shit. But if we look around, there's an alternative motive. Well, not an alternative motive, but an alternative escape plan, which is right over there, that door. So when he jumps down, all we're going to do is run right for that door, as you will see in a few seconds. Let's go. Oh god! And we're just gonna run. Is there health? Yeah, there's a health bar, so you might be confused. Oh, probably shouldn't do that. Let's get in the door. Bastard. Fat fuck. Dare you hit me. So, another bonfire. I suggest lighting every bonfire you come in contact with. I know I said last time that, you get different benefits from sitting at a bonfire. The other added benefit is that if you die, you will respawn at the last bonfire you sat at. So, always remember, it's kind of like a checkpoint. Make sure you sit at a bonfire so that you can get that added checkpoint. Now, there's going to be an archer down there shooting arrows, so just run fast and try to, serpentine to dodge him. These white globes things here are basically items, so, you want to pick those up. Pillage corpse. We got a shield, so now we can block. Well, you have to equip it first, I should probably say. So, equip the shield. Now we can block with the L1 button. As I said in the last video, I will be describing this as if you're playing a PlayStation controller. If you're playing a 360 controller, then it's the left bumper. But I'm not going to say it every time. You may be asking yourself, what the hell are these orange things on the floor? Well, later in the game, you can get an item where you can leave messages on the floor for other players in the world to read in their world. So if I wanted to leave a message right here, I could. These messages are specific, though. They are actually messages from the developers giving you little hints and also telling you, different move sets, because this is technically the tutorial to the game. Excuse me, I need a drink. So if we go ahead and hit A, or in my case I hit X because I'm on a PlayStation controller, it's basically telling you different, buttons to hit. This one will probably say, yeah, left will do that. Guard. So you can read those. I'm not going to go through and read every one for you, but as you're playing, it kind of helps if you don't know what you're doing. So this helps because now we can dodge arrows, I think. Yep, so. Blocking also takes down your stamina. That green bar is your stamina, the red one's obviously your health. So your stamina is how you attack. As I attack, I lose stamina, sorry. And I also lose it when I'm hit by anything. If it's a huge hit, it'll take a huge chunk of my stamina out. But since it's just an arrow, it's not going to do much. So he's going to run away because he's probably afraid. Here's another corpse, so we'll pillage that. We got a weapon. So, what I'm going to do is equip that scimitar real quick. Now we have a better weapon that we can kill him with. So I'm going to use a backstab. That's what a backstab animation looks like. Does a lot of damage and pretty much instant kills most of the smaller creatures that are about, you know, the early game. This here is a fog gate. Now, what this usually means is that there's a boss on the other side. In the early stages of the game, that's not the case. It's just, you know, I don't know why they really did this. I guess just kind of teach you, you know, that there are surprises behind these things. But right now, there's just going to be an enemy. Or actually, there's not. I'm sorry, that's later. So, you know, make sure you kind of explore different areas, check things out. I'm pretty sure there's nothing back here. You'll have to excuse me, I haven't played this game in a while, so I'm going to kind of show off. I can't get up here. That's an item that you can get later in the game, and I'm not going to get into it right now, but it's not that important. It's just a ring that lets you walk on water easier, so you're not like... When you walk in water, you basically walk this fast. With that ring, you can walk normally. So if we go down here, can open this door, and we're back at this point, if you remember, where that giant demon's inside there. So we can sit at this bonfire if we want, just because, you know, it's like a checkpoint. If we die, we can come right back there. Now, this game is all about trial and error, learning, you know, learning from your mistakes, if you will. So, normal player will walk up this and not see that giant boulder. So, that'll happen. Again, you know, this is going to be spoiler alert all over the place. I'm not going to warn you for it. I'm sorry if it ruins your game experience, but shit happens. And we see this gentleman. If you remember earlier, he threw that corpse down. I don't know why he couldn't just throw a rope. I could have gotten up. I could have helped him. He wouldn't be dying right now, but that's what happens. So I'm going to talk to him and let you read, and I'm going to shut up.
Oh, you. You're no hollow. Thank goodness. I'm done for, I'm afraid. I'll die soon, then lose my sanity. I wish to ask something of you. You and I are both undead. Hear me out, will you?
No, I don't want to hear you out. Okay.
Regrettably, I have failed in my mission. But perhaps you can keep the torch lit. There is an old saying in my family. Thou who art undead art chosen. And thine exodus from the undead asylum maketh pilgrimage to the land of ancient lords. When thou ringeth the bell of awakening, the fate of the undead thou shalt know. Well, now you know. And I can die with hope in my heart. Oh, one more thing. Here, take this. An Estus flask. An undead favorite. Oh, and this. Now I must bid farewell. I would hate to harm you after death. So go now, and thank you.
It's kind of hard to understand right now, but when people quote-unquote die, I mean, they're already undead, but, you know, when they die, it's basically like, I know you're hollow right now, but when they actually go hollow, they basically lose all sanity, and, you know, they don't know right from wrong, all that good stuff, and they basically turn into the undead that I've been fighting this whole time. So, you know, this guy later on, you'll come back here, and he'll actually be here as a hollow, and he'll just start fighting you. He won't be, you know, conscious of it, he'll just be fighting you. The SS flask that he gave me, as I said in the last video, is your pretty much your main source of healing, if you will, and I'll show you that here in a second. That noise was him dying. Alright, so we took a little damage there, so I'm just drink the flask. Okay, you're a dick. Backstab you. Alright, so we'll take another drink. We only have 5 charges, now we have 4, now we're gonna have 3 because I'm drinking again. Now we're at full health. So, you know, you want to use your SS flask wisely. You don't want to waste it. You know, it's good to save it up. You know what? I'm sorry, I have to get rid of this crap. Wow, I look ugly. Yeah, that's your undead, hollow, skinny ass. But hey, I look more like a pirate now. Where was I? So yeah, SS Flask. I want to make sure that you keep that up. You can actually use you can use humanity when you're human at a bonfire to it's called kindling. You actually kindle the bonfire. You make it stronger, and as you do that, you actually gain a bigger maximum to your SS Flask when you visit that specific bonfire. So it goes from 5 to 10 to 15 to 20. At first you can go to 10, but then you need a special, it's called the Rite of Kindling. You get that much later in the game. That will let you progress the SS Flask farther than that. So, you know, again, we'll get to that kind of stuff later. For now, let's just keep trucking. Oh, and so you can see the SS Flask is in my item slot. So if we hit the square button, that's how we use the actual item. Just in case, you know, people had forgotten. Oh, I haven't talked about locking on either. If you hit the right analog stick in, if you actually hit it, it will lock on to the opponent. So you can, you know, walk around him. If I don't lock on, then I'm kind of free walking. But you lock on, you can easily walk behind him and backstab him. Let's see if we can riposte this guy. So basically what we're waiting for is we're waiting for him to attack, and then I'm going to L2 his attack and riposte it. So here we go. Nope, fail. Try again. Come on. Nope, fail. Alright. There we go. There's a riposte, except I completely failed on the actual riposte, so we'll try in just a second. There's another guy up front, not this guy. Backstabbing can be very easy and very difficult at the same time. There's a window behind, actually standing behind them. Sometimes it won't look like you're behind them. Sometimes when you're fighting other players, it'll glitch out and it'll look like they're not behind you, but they are, and blah blah blah, all that, you know, bullshit. And the key point is that backstabbing is very temperamental in this game. In Dark Souls 2, they're much improving it because that's a big aspect of this game is backstabbing. Alright, this guy we will try to riposte. Wait. There we go. There's a riposte. So what I did there is I used my L2 while he was attacking, and then once I did that, and it makes a little noise and it kind of slow-mos, you have to immediately hit R1 to do a single attack. Not R2 like I did the first time I failed, but R1. And that'll finish your riposte. Now, some enemies will drop items. As you can see, he dropped an item. I can pick it up, and I'm sure it's just going to be shitty armor. Yep, it's just his shitty-ass helm, which does nothing, basically. You can look at these, and if you look down at the bottom, it says, you know, X to toggle display. And this will actually show you the benefits of wearing them, the physical defense, all that good jazz. And, you know, you can look into this, but it's not really that... I mean, at the beginning of the game it's important, but later on... No, I'm sorry, I'm lying. It's important in both aspects. It just depends on how good of a player you are. If you're good at evading by rolling, things like that, then you don't really need to worry about armor so much. For this build, that's basically how I'm going to be. I'm going to be very quick. I'm going to be very dex build, so I won't really need to worry about armor too much. So this is an example of a fall gate that will enter into a boss fight, as we're going to jump down on the demon here. If we look back at this message, it will say that, you know, while falling, we can hit the R1, or in the 360 aspect, the right bumper, to bring down a plunging attack in air. And this does a truckload of damage on an enemy. If you can land this on a player, for example, it'll pretty much one-shot him. I mean, you know, it won't, but it'll do a crap ton of damage. He won't be able to recover from it because he lands flat on his ass. So it's a good attack to keep in mind. Now, you might see me fail here because, again, I haven't really played this game in a while, and I kind of forget the movesets of the bosses. By the way, if you wait up here long enough, he will jump up and smack you in the ass, so don't do that. Jump down, do your R1, do some damage, and jump down. Yeah. Don't forget, if you dual hand things, wow, you wrecked. Shut up. Oh no! Let me get that booty. Always keep your shield raised, boys and girls. Booty! Pushing that booty! And he's dead. Okay, so don't forget to dual hand. I don't know how to say that. I feel like I'm an idiot saying that. If you dual hand something, you'll do more damage, but you lose the advantage of having your shield. If I try to block and attack with this, I'll take a lot of damage. If I block like this, I'll take much less damage, but as you saw, at one point I was blocking and he hit me, and I did take slight damage, so shields will not always save you, especially these smaller shields. There's actually 3 different kinds of shields. The target shields, which is what I have, the regular shields, which will let you will let you parry, riposte, if you will, and will block a good amount of damage, and then your great shields which you cannot riposte with. It won't let you do this. It'll actually have like a push animation that will do damage, and basically have the same effect as a kick. That's different, I'm sorry. So yeah, there's that. The other thing that you want to keep in mind, while you're running, you'll lose stamina. And while you have your shield up, your stamina will regen much slower. So when I stop running here, you'll notice my stamina will regen fairly quickly. Oh, sorry, let me get back there. So I'm going to stop running and you'll see it. Goes up very quickly. If I do the same thing but I have my shield up, it'll go much slower. So I have my shield up, it's going a lot slower. So when you're dueling somebody, like a player, when you're not attacking, you want to remember to take down your shield, because they're not attacking you. It's a good time to gain stamina. Now this leaves you open for an attack, so you want to be able to quickly bring up your shield so you can block it, but you want to get your stamina up so you can attack them. So that's the end of the Undead Asylum. We're going to walk out here. Open the door slowly, as is in good fashion. Now, this is a good example of when to look in every corner for items, because there's a lot of hidden items in the game that you will never even think about. You probably just go right up there and just go to the next area, which we'll see later. But you can see these messages, and the messages on the ground, you can read them, and a lot of players will give you good hints, like secret ahead. See what this one says. Left ahead. So if we go down here and look at the left, there's an item. So players will help you out. Sometimes these messages will be completely worthless and not helpful whatsoever, and actually some of them will deceive you and tell you that it's safe ahead when there's actually a trap or something like that. So you have to kind of take that on your own, or just watch this video, as I said before.
You give me warm, give me soft.
Okay, that probably traumatized a lot of you. This is a little kind of an Easter egg in the game. This nest over here, you can come back to this asylum later in the game. You can't until much later in the game. But if you drop specific items here and then quit the game, come back into the game, it'll actually change to a different weapon. It's basically called trading with this giant bird called, I think his name was Snuggy or something like that, I don't know. It's a giant crow. But you trade with it and it gives you a better item. It's kind of dumb, but we'll get into that later if you guys have questions, but I didn't really use it that much when I was playing this game, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. I don't think there's any other... Yes, it is a gorgeous view. Well said, sir. And you can actually rate these. You actually have to... It's called I think, orange soapstone. And we have to buy that later in the game. But with that orange soapstone, you can leave these kinds of messages, and you can also rate other people's messages. For example, if they really helped you, or if you find them, entertaining. Some of them are kind of funny. You can rate them, and you know that means that more people will see them, and they actually get more souls for that, I believe. I think after a certain amount they actually get souls for it. So I'm going to walk up to this ledge and you're going to see the next portion of the story, kind of.
Only in the ancient legends it is stated that one day an undead shall be chosen. To leave the undead asylum in pilgrimage to the land of the ancient lords. Lordran.
Lordran. Da 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 da. Sorry, you guys are going to have to endure me acting like an idiot. It's what I do. It's my B-roll. I'm not sure if that's the right word for that. Well, words. But I'm gonna go with it. It's what we do. Alright, so this is Lordran. Interesting, I got an achievement for that. In Lordran, level up and kindle at bonfires. So now we have the option of leveling up and kindling bonfires and reversing hollowification. So, you know, we'll get into that. This is the world of Lordran. It's a very gorgeous world. You'll find out much of it by talking to NPCs. This guy ahead will give you the only real direction in the game. After that, you are on your fucking own. You have to figure things out for yourself. And it's fun. It is awesome not being told what to do. It really is. So, you know, please enjoy that aspect of the game because it's awesome. Yeah, you can see here, level up, and we'll get into this next video. Kindle, I can kindle this bonfire, but I don't have any humanity and I'm still hollowed. And then reverse hollowing, which I told you about earlier. So, we'll get into that later. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Next video we will be, you know, talking to that guy who's a giant douche. I'm just gonna say that now. Sir? Sir? You are a douche. I don't think that's the right emote. Is there a point? There's a point. Yes. You're a douche. There we go. Alright, so that guy's a douchebag. So we'll be talking to that douchebag. We will be showing some, yeah, you know what? Next video we will be showing you some easy items to get really early in the game. There's a graveyard that's right over there that has skeletons that will instantly kill you, but you can run pretty quickly through it and grab some awesome beginning items. So we'll get into that. We'll talk more about, you know, becoming human. I'm sure I'll gain humanity fairly quickly here in the beginning. It's kind of random, but it you know, it happens fairly quickly. So we'll get into a lot of jazz. Again, as always, please subscribe, leave comments, tell me how I'm doing, tell me if you have any questions or things you would like to see in the videos, and I will get to it. I really hope you guys have found this helpful, and I will see you next time.